Hey book friends, welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a fun video where I chat through series. And so in 2024, I have decided to set one of my big reading goals to be around series. Now, I don't mean that I need to finish a bunch of series or feel stressed about how many series I have going. What I feel like is I love series. I realize that's an aspect of my reading that brings me a lot of joy. I love being in these worlds with these characters for longer periods of time. So series is something I just want to prioritize in 2024. And so in this video, I want to share a couple things. First, I want to share how I am keeping track of all of my series. In my series spreadsheet, it's going to be really fun. I'll show it to you. It's through Notion. I made it all myself. I love it. The other thing I want to share is my priority series TBR for 2024. I've been sharing some kind of priority TBRs, like my 24 and 2024 list, but I purposely made sure that that one didn't have a ton of series because I didn't want to just populate it with series because I have other things going on. So instead, this will be the list where I talk about the ones I really want to get through this year. And I'm also going to give you a bit of an update of where I am in a lot of series. So let's just hop into the video. So hi, my name is Angie. Welcome to the channel, all the things. So like I said, we are talking all about series, book series today. I'm first going to share with you here on my computer my Notion spreadsheet. So I put this together to help me organize where I am in different series. I wanted it to also be really simple. I've looked into a lot of just reading spreadsheets and stats spreadsheets that other booktubers have, and they look beautiful and wonderful, but I don't need all that, nor am I interested in all of that. I just wanted a list. And so that's what I made for myself. So let me take you into my Notion. Okay guys, so you can see here in my Notion is my book series tab. I love Notion. You can see I also have a lot of other things I organize with my Notion. So the main way I have set up my spreadsheet is via this completed tab. So the question of have I completed a series? And my answers are either yes, I have. I've completed the series. I'm up to date on a series. No, I haven't completed a series, or I have not yet started a series, or I've DNF'd it. And I got to order these how I wanted. So I set that up myself, and then I go through and I've set up the series name, the author, the number of books in a series, the number of books I've read in a series, the genre, as well as the age. Mostly for age, I just wanted to see which ones are YA and middle grade that I'm kind of working on. And so you can see here that I actually have a number of series I've completed, and some of these are my absolute favorite series, such as the Winter Night trilogy, the Farseer trilogy, the Practical Magic trilogy. And so for me, series typically are fantasy. I also wanted to see how many series I'm reading that are more historical fantasy, because I've been more interested in that lately, but also mystery. So those are my three big categories, although I do have some sci-fi, and I want to start reading more sci-fi. And those are genres that also lend themselves to series. There's a lot of fantasy on here because that is just common in fantasy, right? Okay, so here's some of the series that I have finished. Like I said, I even read The Mortal Instruments this past fall, and it was a good time. And now some series that I am up to date on, which means I have chosen to continue with these series. Otherwise they would be in the DNF pile, but I'm waiting for new books, such as the new Crescent City book, which is coming out. It's coming out here shortly, as well as the new Nevermore book, which has been a long wait to get the next book in this series by Jessica Townsend. I've read them all. Now I'm just waiting for something new. Same with Amari, same with the Inheritance games. I just decided to put the original trilogy with some of the new ones, like the Brothers Hawthorne that just came out this past summer. So I'm all up to date on that. I'm up to date on Legendborn. I know there's another one coming. I'm really excited for it. And then I just read this, and that's The Secrets of the Nile, which actually, technically, it's a one-book series currently. I should change that. The next book comes out in November. And so those are the ones I'm up to date on. And then there's all of these ones that I'm not up to date on, but I'm still really interested in. Some more so than others. So I do have the Green Bone Saga that I've only read one book. A Course of Dragons I'm thinking of rereading, starting over. I'll talk about that in a second. I am reading Throne of Glass, the Thursday Murder Club. I have plans already to read a number of these books in my reading challenge this year, so I want to get caught up with that. Darker Shade of Magic. I also have plans to read this with my sister. Winter House. I read this. This is a middle grade mystery book that I read a while ago, and I really enjoyed it. I honestly just want to continue reading them because I want to give them to my daughter, who is a mystery book reader. And then Keeper of the Lost Cities, she's not ready for this yet, but eventually she'll probably like this. It's very angsty middle grade fantasy series, which it's enjoyable, but a little much at times. And then there's the Dublin Murder Squad. This one's kind of on the fence. I feel like the next book we'll see if I continue with the series or if I just move it to my DNFs. Red Rising, I love. I'm still working my way through. I'm at Dark Ages, and I've heard that it's a hard book to read, so I feel like I'm intimidated to keep going. But I have 2 books that are published that I want to get through on that. Mistborn Era 2, I have that on there. I want to make a little bit more progress in the Cosmere. I'm just trying to figure out how best to do that. So that's on there. I have Stalking Jack the Ripper. I have all 4 of the books. I just bought the set after I read the first one by Carrie Maniscalco, and I really enjoyed it. And so I'm excited to move on with that. I have Shadow and Bone. I have just 1 left, so I can finish that. I might just rename this the Grishaverse so I can add Six of Crows and the other one to this one. Oh, and then the Rook and the Rose series, I'm currently reading the 3rd, and I'm loving it. So this will shortly be moved to completed, that it is completed. I have Finley Donovan on here, which I love the first one. I haven't heard great things about them as they move through the series. It's a 4-book series, so this is a tentatively still on my to-read list. Part of Your World, so that's more of a companion book. So this is actually the only romance in here. And it's not even really a series, but I really liked Part of Your World, so I really want to read Yours Truly. Oh, David Bad Trilogy. I'm going to finish this year. It's also part of my reading challenge, so I'm excited for that. Atlas Trilogy, I'm currently reading and loving, and I should be getting through that. This is the new, it's a sci-fi book that I read, Surviving Sky book, and I didn't realize it was part of a trilogy. The trilogy is called Rages. It's definitely a tentative. I'm not quite sure if I'm going to keep this on here or not. And then Tawny Man. So this is the 3rd series in the realm of the Elderlings that I read the first book. Okay, so those ones, I mean, that seems like quite a bit, but it doesn't stress me out. I'm really interested in all of those, or they're like 1 more book. I need to test it out to see if I want to continue. I have a lot of not started books here. So why I have all these. 1, I have a wonderful sister who often is giving me books, and a lot of times they're series because we have similar tastes in books. And so I have a lot of series on here, and a lot of these I either have the full series on my shelf or at least have the first one. Except for just a few of these, like these 3 mystery ones right here, I just put myself because I'm interested in the Wayward Pines series, the Passage series, and Good Girl's Guide to Murder. These 3 mystery series I'm interested in starting because I realized when I was putting this all together that most of my list here in my series tracker is mostly fantasy. But I really want to get back into a good mystery series because there are lots of good ones and sometimes I'm just not sure. So otherwise I have like the Queens of Renthia series on my shelf. It's called the Darkwater Legacy. That's the Ember Blade. I only have the first one of that. Dandelion Dynasty, I think I would really like. Winnowing Flame trilogy, The Devouring Worlds. This is the new Megan O'Keefe book, and I already have plans to buddy read that with my sister, so it's on here. Blood and Ash, she gave me a number of the books, so I have the first 3, so I want to try that out. I want to try a little bit of the romantasy. I know it's very popular right now, but I do love romance in my books, but not if that's all there is romance in the fantasy. I want it to be probably fantasy heavy, romance light, or equal parts. So I want to try some of these things. And then the 4th Realm trilogy. It's a sci-fi trilogy that my sister gave me. Wheel of Time. She gave me all the Wheel of Time books. And so I feel like that's going to be fun to just slowly work my way through. As well as the Lycanius trilogy, which is the older books by Islington. I forget his first name. So I have those. I have Divine Rivals, and I know the second one just came out. This one is We Hunt the Flame, or Stars, or something like that. The Diviners, The Gilded Wolves, The Bright and the Pale. It's just a duology. And then I have the first 3 of that, where it's like the Winter Promise. So it's a quartet, Mirror Visitor quartet. And then I do have some that I have DNF'd over the years. And I might come back to these just because as I've read more and more fantasy, I feel like I could handle these books a little bit more, especially something like the Founders trilogy. I just got a little confused, and I didn't like that I was confused, but I think I could handle it better now. Broken Earth trilogy, I still don't think I'll go back to. Just the way the kids are treated in that book, which if you've read it, you know, you know. As just a mom, I couldn't handle that. And then the Frida Klein series, which is a mystery series, I did like the first one, but I just wasn't as drawn into those books. So I ended up selling those. Drowning Empire series. So I read the first one and I liked it, and then I heard the series went downhill. And since I didn't love the first one, I just decided that's a good one to let go. As well as First Law, same idea. And then you have The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. Unless you guys can tell me that the second one gets better, I liked the first one. But again, sometimes the first books in series aren't my favorite, such as like Throne of Glass. I really didn't like the first one. It was called Throne of Glass, that's right. But I've liked them more as they've gone on. And so if that's the case for The Naturals, somebody let me know. But I have that in my DNF pile. I was adding some more. I had a few more to add here, mostly from books that I just got in my latest book haul. So I have a lot on here. I love series. Like I said, I'm more excited for some than others. So let's talk through some of my priority series for 2024. First, I want to finish The Rook and the Rose, which I'm in the process of doing. Second, I want to finish the Atlas trilogy, or the Atlas 6 trilogy, which I'm also in the process of doing. And so those two are kind of priority ones. And the other ones that are, I would say, priority books for me is to finish the Tawny Man series. So I would like to maybe tackle a series a year in the Robin Hobb universe. And so to finish those two books in the Tawny Man series, I would enjoy, and it's based on Fitz, and I really enjoy Fitz and his character and just the world he's in and the new direction that this series is going with some new characters I'm really enjoying. So that's a priority, as well as Chorus of Dragons by Jen Lyons. I really enjoyed the Ruin of Kings and the second one, but I think I might be starting those over to kind of get myself back into the world, because it's a bit of a confusing world, and the plot setup, how it's told, is unique in the sense that it's kind of telling the story in the past, like what happened, and then book two, it takes the same story, but it's told from a different character to give you lots more information about the bigger world and the bigger issue, which I just loved, but I have forgotten a lot of it. And so before I go through that whole 5-book series, I would like to reread it. And so that's kind of why I'm making a priority series this year, is because I think for me, it's better if I just read them somewhat close to each other, so I'm not forced to reread, and forced is a bad word. I can look up like spoiler reports online and do okay, and that's really if I'm reading a book that isn't a top tier priority book, kind of like Throne of Glass or Shadow and Bone. Like, I figure I can get enough out of those spoiler reviews to keep going with the series. But other ones, there's so much in, say, like The Rook and the Rose or Chorus of Dragons, that I get more out of the reading experience. I like looking for Easter eggs. I like seeing the connections and really understanding the full plot in certain books, that I feel like it has those elements, if you will, that there's some cleverness to the plot. Oh, another one I really want to get to is Divine Rivals. I think it'll be perfect for me. It's historical fantasy. I think I would really like it. And it's really popular, so I kind of want to know what's going on. And then the other one is the David Bad trilogy, which I already said I have plans for finishing it, so that's top priority for 2024. Is I have the book 2 and book 3 to finish in that series. And the plot for that is around this girl who accidentally summons like a djinn warrior, and then he has to bring her to the City of Brass, or the City of Magic, and she learns some things about herself. It's really fun so far. So I'm really looking forward to that one. But like I said, I do want to try Blood and Ash. I'm not quite sure. I'm a little like, is it good? Is it not? But I'll just stop if it's not, and I'll just sell the books, because I'm only going to read what I really want to read. I'm not going to just keep going if I don't want to. I also am really interested in the Wayward Pines mystery series. I really want to find a mystery series for this year. I think that's really fun. It's fun to kind of get into a series. That's what I was expecting of like the Dublin Murder Squad, but that book didn't draw me in as much as I thought it would. I thought I could just kind of go through that whole series and really enjoy it. The Thursday Murder Club is definitely on that list of ones that I can kind of keep revisiting for mystery books or mystery series, and so that's one. So I'd say those are some of my main priority series, and I didn't want to pick too many out because I also wanted to be able to pick out my next set of series based on mood. and based on what I'm interested in. Like maybe I'll really want to read about vampires and I'll pick up the Empire of the Vampire series. Or maybe I'll be really interested in more of kind of the shadow hunter world and I'll pick up whatever the next series is for that world, which I can't even remember. I want that ability to do that, but you guys, I'm so excited. I'm so excited for so many of these book series. I know I kind of went through everything really quickly because I know you're either interested or not in it, but if you saw a series in here that is one of your favorites or that you think I should really prioritize, let me know down below, because I think that would be fun too, is to read some of the series that you guys think I would like, or that is just one of your favorites and you can't wait for other people to read it. So please comment down below and let me know if you want me to maybe share this Notion spreadsheet. I'm not quite sure how to do that, but I just developed it myself. It was super easy. Notion really helps me stay organized in a lot of areas of life. And so I'm on it often, which is why I put my series spreadsheet on the platform I already am on to do all of my like meal planning, as well as my YouTube planning, as well as planning for Christmas, things like that. So anyway, that's all I have for this video. I hope you guys are doing well and I hope you are enjoying 2024 so far. You guys, I will see you in the next video, which actually is my video where I declutter my bookshelves. It's a good one. So stay tuned for that and like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you want to, and I'll see you in the next book video. All right guys, take care.